And you smoked them, yeah?
All of them.
Yeah, we've got stage 10 soon. So as we covered in a couple of vlogs before, the NVM 700R with that E30 content made 700 brake horsepower and 900 Newton meters of torque. On 99, it made about 635 brake horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque. But the Achilles heel was always going to be the weight. And we did start to take off a bit of weight from the car, and I'll leave a link up there for you guys to check out a vlog on the weight saving we did for this car. Inevitably, we needed more power. Let's address the elephant in the room. Precision 6870 next gen turbocharger. Full frame time for our NVM 240i. The turbocharger was probably the hardest decision I had to make, whether we're going Precision, Turbo Smart, Garrett, or even the Pulsar Turbo. But we ended up with the 6870 next gen because it's got a capability of about 1,000 to 1,200 horsepower with good spool. So it's not just the turbocharger that caters for the spool, it's the type of manifold that you go for, the type of wastegate, downpipe, diamond tap, and all of that together. And this kit that we have here is the Walter Motorsport straight gate kit. So it has a 6-branch manifold with a V-band for the 6870. And we have gone V-band simply because it's a lot easier for us to chop and change turbochargers if necessary. There's no seized bolts, there's nothing that needs cutting, moving. It's a very flexible way of fitting one of these turbochargers or another brand of turbochargers to the manifold. And that is going to be coupled with the Turbo Smart straight gate. And now this straight gate has been adapted to fit the original B58 electronic wastegate. So that'll give us full OEM control via the ECU, no piggyback ECUs needed to control the boost on our car. Now we have also had the downpipe, which is huge by the way, coated in this heat shielding. Shout out to Stu at Imico. He has provided us with heat shielding for the downpipe and the turbo housing. Maybe at a later date we might do the manifold as well, but this is kind of to reduce any sort of heat getting onto other parts of the car more than anything. More so for the electronics, especially when you've got a massive power cable running very close to this. I'm so impressed with the NVM 700R hybrid turbocharger. It's ticked all the boxes and it's done everything we needed it to do at different boost levels for the fueling required. Since the last episode we covered on this, we did put S58 injectors. It's still on the Dorch Stage 2 pump. So we're gonna find out what sort of limitations we're gonna hit with the 6870. Obviously, to take it to what it's capable of, it's going to need port injection. At the moment we're running MEF injection, but we will have to go port injection at a later date. We are still on stock pistons, rods and cams, and all these three things will be changed again at a later date once we know how much power the stock engine can handle. So, a couple of baselines. I say baselines, NVM 700R, port MEF injection with a gallon tank in the back, 99 round fuel, no ethanol mix on this, and it's made 630 brake horsepower, 870 Newton meters of torque, nice and repeatable, nice back-to-back power from the 700R. Obviously with ethanol content, that does go up dramatically, around 700 brake horsepower, 920 Newton meters of torque, and without any MEF, it's about 580 brake horsepower and 802 Newton meters of torque. So this has given us all the data that we need on this turbocharger. Without MEF, with MEF and with ethanol, the capabilities of this turbocharger is amazing, and you've probably seen it on the run as well. It's so quick to spool up and it's so usable on a daily basis. This is a boot mod licensed car, so we're going to try and integrate everything with the boot mod as we have already with the ethanol, flex fuel, etc. So we'll take it slow. That's all we can do. Fit this kit, make sure it operates and works as it should. See if it makes any more power than this at the same kind of fuel fueling quantity, octane, etc. And then we'll turn it up. So as one B58 gets more power, another B58 gets resuscitated. We introduced this car a couple of weeks ago. The owner, Nick, had total oil pressure failure. This car wasn't an NVM tuned car. We'd never seen the car before, but once he gave us a call, so we had the car towed here. Upon inspection, we found the whole under tray covered in oil and 250 mils left in the engine bay. But we replaced a few elements and we wanted to inspect the oil filter housing because as a car runs low on oil, you've got to understand the lubrication. It's the lifeblood of the engine. So as it reduces in oil quantity, not enough components get lubricated. Hence why we had a whole list of faults on there for Vanos not working and oil temperature, oil pressure, etc. So we've taken the oil filter off from it, so we're going to cut it open. This wasn't fitted properly as the filter was actually twisted in the housing. So that is the filtration element out of this car. And it's good to see because although there is tiny fragments of metal, I say the tiniest, there's not really pieces of bearing or anything like that on there. And one side of the filter has got it, and the other side of the filter is clean, so the filter's done its job basically. The most likely suspect for lack of oil pressure is this. This is the B58 oil filter housing. It has an integrated oil cooler that sits on the top of this, and the engine coolant runs through that cooler, and that in turn cools down the engine oil. But the problem is, if it's had a failure in the past, you've got to figure out what's caused that failure, whether that's the mating surfaces, whether it's the actual part. And this part was actually replaced by a previous garage. I'm not going to mention who it was. It wasn't fitted properly basically. But yeah, this is a likely suspect, and I do advise everyone to change this at some point on their B58 because they are known to fail. And you can get an aluminium version now. I'm not a massive fan of the aluminium version simply because if this part expands and contracts as aluminium does, it can actually cause more issues with the gaskets. All I know is the OEM part does a job, replace it for OEM and fit it correctly. But yeah, not much left to do on this, just the under trays and oil to go on, and then we can build up some oil pressure, and then hopefully we can get a crank. It's getting out of hand again, these exhaust systems. The Scorpion exhaust for the 240i is one we're going to have to modify for this big turbo kit. It is an 80mm front pipe and it goes into a twin 70. So the flow is there, but like I said, depending on how much boost we run on this car is going to define how much restriction we get in the exhaust. I mean, we do want it to sound good. We want it to sound like a jet engine, like a Lambo. We want it to be a beast. Last weekend, we headed over to Santa Pod Raceway to go check out some of that supercar action. We need to make this 240i a supercar killer, so we did some reconnaissance. Huge shout out to our friends at Santa Pod Raceway for inviting us down to the revved up supercar showdown. It was an eventful day full of beautiful supercars, sending it up the quarter mile and sitting there pretty too. Did you see that F40? It's always been a dream of mine since I was a young child to own a supercar, but the tables have turned. I'd rather own a supercar killer. It was good to see Jamie's car on stand. Some great conversations, great people, great vibes. Let me know in the comments which one was your favourite supercar of the day. The reconnaissance was over. Mid-9s, low 10s. I think this is going to be an easy one. fingers crossed we get a full start on that with no issues. It is what it is. Sun's out, cars are dirty. Look at this. The E46 always looks good in silver, but today you can see the sand that's in the rain. What's going on? Can a weatherman please comment below as to what's going on with the UK rain? Oh, look who it is. It's Dal back from the OG battles. Dal's famous now. No doubt the video's already gone out. How's it going, bro? Oh, can I get your autograph, mate? Beautiful. NVM Stage 2 M140i was up against what? RS3?
RS3, Golf R, A45.
Oh, really? And you smoked them, yeah?
All of them, every race, drag race.
Oh, it's crazy. The B58 don't lie. I'm telling you, it's absolutely crazy. Drag race as well?
Drag race, yeah.
Rear wheel drive versus?
Open diff.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. People are going to wonder how you did it. How did you do it, mate?
Mabs.
He's giving me the credit. He was a driver. I was going to pop down, actually. We were going to go to OG Battles, weren't we? Jamie invited us down and said, look, we've got a couple of your cars coming down, so come down and have a chat. But we've just been busy with all of that stuff, haven't we? So yeah, congratulations.
Nice one.
Take it easy, and yeah, we'll go stage 10 soon. Then you all got to worry. So this is the moment of truth. Did all our hard work and efforts in stripping the engine apart to replace all of these parts and make it secure actually work? This is always the dreaded moment, by the way. I'll let you do the honours, mate. I'll let you do the honours. If there's any funny noises, just lift off the brake.
Oh my God! Wow!
Wow! First time. We need to get the diagnostics on there, clear a couple of the fault codes, watch that oil pressure meticulously, and make sure there's no further issues, and then we can take it out for a spin. This car has actually been tuned somewhere else, Stage 2 Plus, and if anyone knows how the NVM Stage 2 Plus is, they know the difference. The drivability, the comfort, and all of that. This is just, it's like they're requesting 1,000 Newton meters from 0 RPM. It's so funny because the NVM Stage 2 Plus package is probably the most common package that we put together, and we don't just, you know, pluck it out from the sky or copy and paste from someone else. It's a package that we put together based upon the development that we've done. So the size of downpipe, the shielding, the panel filter we use, the TU pump, the TU plugs. There's so much difference of opinion, but everything that we put together has been put together for a purpose, not for a profit line, not for anything. It's a purpose to the tuning and what we can get from it. Now, the B58s, obviously, around the world, they're doing crazy numbers. I mean, our Stage 2 Plus on an M140, 240 does about 100 to 200 between 6.8 and 7.2. That's our target, and that depends on the driver. As you're probably aware, the draggy numbers are totally dependent on the, you know, the DA, what gear you use, what RPM you shift. So, yeah, on average, 6.8 to 7.2. And there's other companies, for example, the company that tuned this, are repeatedly getting 8.5s, 8.6s from their 100 to 200s, and I don't understand how they could package that as a Stage 2 Plus. Like, that's slower than our Stage 2s, and that's a stock high pressure fuel pump. And it's because what they haven't clocked, and what, you know, companies like them haven't kind of figured out, is what you see on the dyno doesn't always relate to what you see on the road. It's so important you spend that time on the road for, you know, reliability and comfort and drivability and all of those things that you bought an M140 for. Yes, we're gonna have to sort something out with the exhaust. At the moment, we've got a 5-inch open hole that we need to convert into a dump tube for racing, and also to the stock exhaust system, well, the Scorpion exhaust system. It's going to be interesting mapping this car because the turbocharger is huge, capable of 1200 horsepower, although we are still on stock engine internals. So we've got to be very careful with what we do with 99 on fuel and an ethanol blend. But yes, it's almost ready to get started. You've made this conversion look like a 15-minute process, right? It's been 15 or so days in between other cars, but we're almost there. Coolant's just been fitted. We've bled the system. We've actually done a lot of heat proofing. One of the disadvantages of having a big turbocharger is heat management. And like I said earlier, big shout out to Imeco for doing this heat shielding on the turbine housing and the downpipe. And it is the downpipe that we're worried about because it's very close to the fuel lines, the power lines, and also the valve cover. But yes, we've added some of this gold heat shielding, and also a huge shout out to KLM in the USA who have sent us down their catch can kit for the B58. It is a simple catch can kit. It doesn't utilize the oil cap or anything. It is literally from the PCV down to the CCV, and it catches any kind of oil. The last thing you want is masses of oil vapor getting into the intake system, let alone struggling to come out of the car. So that's a cool little breather system. We have added also a turbo guard to it. Now this turbo guard is there for kind of setup and initial kind of testing, although we have found previously when we've remote tuned any sort of turbocharger with these gauges on, it does reduce the amount of boost pressure allowed. So that is only temporary. When we get it on the dyno, we are going to take that off and we're going to start tuning. Although you can see here, space is very limited. I think we're going to have to take the headlight out. We're going to have to get maximum fannage to that turbocharger. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. I'll let you do the honours. I don't know if you're more excited or I'm more excited, but I want to hear this thing run. Come on, mate. They're waiting, they're waiting. It's not starting.
Why? Oh, Craig.
Oh my God. We took the starter motor off. Get it back up in the air. Let's connect that starter motor back on. Good, everything's connected. It sounds like a V10. What the f? Obviously it's got no exhaust on there, but look at that. Bro, if you like this content, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode on the NVM 240i. Catch you guys in the next one.
Don't matter if you cars for the road or tracks. Mexico on the lanes or Donington doing up laps. Car man, I got maps doing up maps. Maximum power, cars get gapped. They got tuners, we got tuners, but they're tuners a load of